A true titan in every sense of the word in Division III boys basketball seeks a fourth consecutive trip to state against a young but very talented team, making the program's first ever Elite Eight appearance. It's Regional Championship Saturday featuring state number 1 Ottawa-Glandorf against number 5 Margaretta on the verge of their first ever trip to Dayton, as our live and free playoff hoops coverage take over your eyeballs and eardrums anywhere the internet can be found. And it's all on the way from the Stroh Center. Next.
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports services as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects, check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center, we build better.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside of the fabulous Stroh Center on the awesome campus of Bowling Green State University for the Maumee Bay Turf Center pregame show. I'm Brian Skowronski. The great Mark Bollinger is with me here tonight. And very similar to the D2 regional final that we just saw, we got two state-ranked teams within the top 5. One's a perennial power, the other one looking to break through with some program history here tonight. So this is just one of those fun settings and atmospheres and matchups where one team, they've been here a bunch, the other team's like, can we get it done and rewrite the record books?
And it is standing room only in here for this game. As you said, two solid basketball clubs going at it tonight. Both teams have just played ridiculously tough schedules, but it has set the stage for them to get here tonight to regional play, and now each team is here and with a chance to cut the nets and move on to Dayton.
Let's tell you first about the number 1 team in the state, Ottawa-Glandorf, 23 wins and winners of each of their last 7, including a dominating victory over Emmanuel Christian in the regional semis right here on Wednesday night. They are the 3-time defending regional champs here at BG, looking to become just the 14th team in OHSAA history, Mark, with 4 straight trips to the Final Four.
Well, and after the Shelby game earlier, we talked about just how special it is to get there once. For Ottawa-Glandorf, it's like a rite of passage. They're here again tonight, and although those last 3 years have been nice, you want to get it again and get a chance to win that state championship.
And they've been devastated by a little bit of heartbreak the last 2 seasons, of course. They've been in the state championship game, very, very close games, and they lost them both. So I think if there was ever going to be a team with a moniker unfinished business, it's probably OG this year.
Well, and I'm sure that they would like nothing more than to come out and finish the job here tonight in Bowling Green and then go to Dayton and see if they can get it done.
Well, they certainly got a dude that's been getting it done his entire career. How about Colin White, the Ohio State commit? He has been impressing since he was a freshman. The program in Putnam County all-time leading scorer and closing in on almost 2,000 points. We're not sure exactly how close he is, but he's like a game or two away from reaching that elite milestone.
It may be one that he gets tonight. Yes, as you said, the Ohio State commit, just outstanding basketball player. Many people are favoring him to win the Mr. Basketball in Ohio this year. He puts up ridiculously good numbers, over 25 a game, 8 rebounds and 3 assists. He does it all for this Ottawa-Glandorf team, and he's done it for the last few years, but he wants to cap off this career for the Titans with a state championship.
He was unbelievable in the semifinal. I was just reading about his game. I didn't see it with my own eyes, Mark, but how about 36 points, and he was basically perfect from the floor. Like we just saw Alex Bruscotter in the D2 game, 11 of 11 from the free throw line, and he only missed 2 shots from the field en route to 36. That's pretty wild.
It is wild, and one of the things that you like about a kid like Colin White is he is a worker. He's not going to be a guy that's going to be out here running his mouth, trying to draw attention to himself. He just plays the game and plays the game the right way.
The WBL, always a quality league year after year. The Titans finished as champs for a 3rd straight season. They'll be going up against a conference champ as well out of the Sandusky Bay Conference, the Margaretta Polar Bears, looking to add to their greatest season ever. And what I like about their season so far, I've broken it up into 2 different chapters. They lost their opening night, then won 12 straight games. Now they're 12-2 in the season's second half, and needed a very heroic comeback in a game that I saw live and free against Crestview in the district semifinals. Since then, though, double-digit wins in the tournament to get on the big stage. And even though they're young, this is a team that doesn't shy away from anybody.
Well, they were able to get by Crestview, as you said, and since then they've played 2 really good basketball games. They are young. They only have 2 seniors on the roster, led by a sophomore in scoring. So tonight, again, we're going to see if the nerves play any kind of factor here as you have the inexperienced Bears taking on the very experienced Ottawa-Glandorf Titans.
From what I've seen so far, we've had a front row view of the Bears warm-up. Very poised so far. Everybody's got a plan before they get hit in the mouth, as Mike Tyson famously said. So we'll see if that is the case for these Polar Bears. But you talked about their supremely gifted sophomore. That's him right there, number 14, Julian Washington. Incredibly poised from what I've seen. He runs the point on the full court press, so he's a great elite defender up there. He can also run the point on offense. So even though he's kind of like a lanky, versatile kid, he can do a little bit of everything at both ends of the floor. Not really a spoken leader on the floor, but definitely looked at when he's on the offensive side.
Well, and what's most impressive about him is the other night in the semifinal game, he put up 26 points against a really good Worthington Christian team. Worthington Christian is notorious, and I saw him a couple times this year. They sit down and guard, and if you get 26 against them, you're a heck of a player. He did that and led his team to this great matchup tonight.
We'll show you the Sandusky Bay Conference, where the Bears, actually they finished 9-1 because Willard absolutely trashed them at their place at the end of the season. But they didn't add that onto the record books in Max Preps conveniently, maybe just to keep the confidence levels up, but still a league champion and a very deep SBC. And the Polar Bears' only 2 losses outside of that Willard also came within the league. I think there's like 28 teams in it. It's huge. It's broken up over several divisions, but at Bellevue, at Perkins, which are both Division II schools. So this is another squad. They've played up a bunch, and they've competed very well.
And that's what I like about both of these squads. You look at their schedules, extremely impressive. Ottawa-Glandorf has taken on top 10 teams in the state in Findlay in Division I. They've played Troy Christian, who was number 4 in Division 4. They played LCC, number 5 in Division 4. They beat Shelby. They beat Lexington.
Yep.
Outstanding schedule. And then you flip it to Margaretta, like you talked about. They played Willard, a top 10 team in Division II. On the trip here to get to this point, Margaretta had to go through Crestview, top 10 team. Worthington Christian, top 10 team. So again, both these teams have checked off the boxes throughout the schedule, and they have earned their right to play for a regional championship.
Neither has been tested here as of late, and both fan bases packed in here. The capacity at Stroh Center right about 5,000. I'm not seeing a whole lot of empty seats, Mark, so I'm not saying that we're close to that number, but we might be.
I think we might be, and on that east end of the arena, they're standing along the row up there, the aisles,
wow,
trying to get a better view. Just packed house tonight for this matchup.
And we're just a few minutes away. We'll first honor America with the playing of our national anthem. And with that, the stage is set here at the Stroh Center at Bowling Green State University, as we are just about ready for some regional championship basketball. An exciting game here tonight. Two of the top 5 teams in the state just about ready to clash. So, how do they get it done? Let's begin with the underdogs here, the Margaretta Polar Bears. I've seen Glandorf a couple of times, and on video doing some research last night, they get up and they like to pressure you a little bit, and they tend to get some easy buckets out of it. So you got to break it. You cannot allow them to cash in easy ones. They're too good on offense to give some cheapies to Mark, so that's my key to victory for the Polar Bears.
And I'm going to go with White out. Although Ottawa-Glandorf is extremely good down their roster, it all starts with Colin White. Can the Bears keep him in check, especially early, not let him get off to a great start and bury them right here in the first quarter? So can you get a White out and stop Colin White, or at least slow him down?
Yeah, stop. I don't know about that. Impact him a little bit? Possibly. We'll find out. There is the OG bench, the #1 team in the state, and a big favorite coming into the season with White and company to get back to the state Final Four. For them to do that and win the regional here tonight, I'm just flipping the coin. I'm going on the opposite side. You got to have that overwhelming pressure that I've seen on video. If you can suffocate Margaretta, a team that's never been at this stage, hasn't played at this big a venue before, all these people in here, it could be an early lead for them, which can lead to doubt, and we know how that snowballs, specifically with a young team.
And I'm going to go with handling the pressure, not the pressure on the court of playing in a big game. This group has done that so many times. This is no different. I'm just talking about the emotions of the day. Their girls team played in a state championship today, came up a little bit short against Afrocentric at 2 o'clock. The community, the boys team, all down there supporting them. They made the trek up I-75 here. 5 hours after that game tipped off, we're tipping here tonight. Can they emotionally understand and deal with the day that they have had and come out here and play their best basketball?
And can we just give a standing ovation for the OG crowd and student section here in the building? Because I bet a lot of these youngsters right here were down in Dayton just a little while ago. That's not an easy drive to come all the way up here, back near their home, and come up to BG to support yet again.
And especially to their girls team. They suffered a tough loss today. Lost a heartbreaking game against Afrocentric. And I saw they had actually saved off a section because the girls team straight up, they brought the bus straight here from UD Arena right to Bowling Green, and they reserved a section in the student section for those girls. They just came in, so Congratulations to them, and give them all the credit in the world, because after a tough loss, it'd be one of those things where you could easily go home and sulk, but no, they're here supporting their classmates. And for some of them, I think there's a couple of them that their brothers are playing tonight, so supporting the family. So congratulations to them, and again, a credit to them for showing up tonight to support their boys squad.
And there they are, the first to be announced out on the floor, circling up. You can already feel the environment elevating here inside of the Stroh Center. But now it's time for Margaretta, led by those youngsters. We already talked about the one sophomore, Julian Washington. Judah Keller runs the point for them, coach's kid. Love what he brings to the table. Gage Bodie, the senior in the lineup. This dude, he's got to be the veteran, experienced leader out on the floor. Tyson Bailey, just a freshman, gets the start here. And then Tate Bailey, the two brothers in the starting lineup tonight. So what's so great for Margaretta is this team's very capable of winning here. But then next season, they're going to be a heavy favorite to return to the stage.
Well, and the experience factor we talked about, in the pregame a little bit earlier. Ottawa-Glandorf has been here. They're going to use that experience. But for Margaretta, this is definitely, even with a loss tonight, a springboard into next year. Yep. I know they want to win and go even further, but worst case, they're gaining valuable experience for a trip back here again next year.
So those are the starters for Margaretta. On the other side for OG, it'll be Grant Schroeder, Grady Tumazos, Dave Westrick, Colin White, and Caden Erford. So for those of you watching live and free right now on the OH Report, this is an audio cast due to OHSAA media regulations. We'll have the full video broadcast for you guys coming up as soon as this game is over probably around 9 p.m. But for right now, the house is rocking everybody up off their feet. And it's Margaretta still in the opening tip, but just missing was Gage Bodie at the rack. I think this place would have exploded.
Great opportunity for an easy basket off the tip. Didn't go in. Margaretta starts out in a zone.
And it leads to a three. Grant Schroeder buries it.
Well, you had the missed layup at one end. Come down the other way. Open three goes down. OG with an early 3-0 lead.
Nearly a travel here for Tyson Bailey as they'll get it into the hands of Washington. Couple of cuts through, now an on-ball screen. And here's Judah Keller around the back. Pitches to the corner, Bodie puts it up. And just a little bit short, White skies for the board.
White quickly in transition.
Sets up a triple try, that one short as well from Caden Erford. He had 14 in the semifinals. And now Washington to Bodie. And one opportunity as he allowed Erford to come down on top of him. Absorbed it and puts it in.
Well, he missed the first layup of the game, but he was able to get that one to go down and get fouled. Step to the line, chance to tie this thing up. If you're a high school sports fan, this is what makes Ohio high school sports so special. What a great environment here tonight.
Absolutely packed from floor to ceiling here inside of the Stroh Center. Both of these communities not very far here from Bowling Green. Ottawa, maybe 10 miles, Mark, a little bit more. And they've got the basketball here with Tomazos now sending it left side down into the corner for Schroeder. A lot of off-ball movement right here for the Titans.
The Bears in the 3-2 zone, passing guys through the zone, trying to make sure they get matched up. Ottawa-Glandorf just staying on the perimeter so far, can't get that interior touch.
Now Tomazos gets it back up top. Very long possession here for the Titans as they'll send it into Westrick on the block. Skip pass on the dribble in. It's poked away. Bears almost came up with the thefts, but White gets it from the short corner and does what he do.
Well, Colin White on the baseline is not going to miss that shot very often. He gets off the floor so quickly. Gets that one to go, extends the lead.
Bears looking to answer mid-range J for Tate. Bailey's off target. They'll get an offensive board, set up Washington. He lips out the three.
Great job by Margaretta. Getting the ball inside and a quick kick out for an open three.
The ball movement for OG's been spectacular so far. Grant Schroeder loses the handle. But they're going to say last touch by the Polar Bears. So it's going to be Glandorf basketball. And they'll have to bring it all the way into the backcourt.
Look for OG to try to get a touch around the foul line area. Maybe get into a high-low look against this zone.
Nice pitch inside from White, and the foul comes as Dave Westrick immediately put it up and earns a trip to the foul line.
OG runs a little cross screen, screens the zone, brings the post player on top of that, and they were able to get the foul.
First one hops off the front of the rim and falls through for Dave. Both he and White so versatile, great size, 6'7", 6'6". No friendly hop though on the second. But even off of the miss, Glandorf, they like to get up and pressure.
They're very active on the basketball. They do such a good job on the help side that allows them to pressure the ball.
Washington, a series of moves, pitches it in traffic. Bodie tried to switch to the right hand, left side. Now White with the ball. Back inside, Westrick, inside out. And OG, their shot selection so far, I mean, they're looking for premium shots.
Well, it's just so good. They had a couple times there where they could have pulled the trigger. Instead, they made the extra pass. They're trying to go from a good shot to a great shot.
And here comes a three. A little bit contested by Judah. Colin working inside. He's got the offensive rebound and stick back. And that'll be a timeout taken by Margaretta, their first, as they see the lead extend out to 6. So, as expected for OG so far, that patented full court pressure. Colin White, special player. He's got a couple of buckets so far. And just a team that you can tell they've been on this stage. It didn't look like this was anything new for them, and they're eased in already.
They're just methodical. Just they know what they want to do. They know their identity, and they play with a purpose. Doesn't matter who the opponent is. They're just going to come out and play their game. As you mentioned, White with 4 early points, 3 rebounds.
So out of the timeout, it's Bears basketball. Washington getting pressured. They'll set up Bodie again, another 3. And he has struggled shooting so far. The Bears as a unit, 1 of 7 so far.
1 and done. Titans do such a good job of finishing possessions with defensive rebounds. Allows them to get out in the transition game.
So White's foul, that's going to be the second on Margaretta. As OG and Tomazos on the inbound. Here's White, nice find. Alex Wager, fresh off the bench. And he takes a tumble. Margaretta with the turnover. Looking to push the pace. Keller to the corner now, sets the screen. Now another attack by the Polar Bears where the help side defense was present, but they'll get a clean look downtown, and Judah just catches a piece of the back iron. Titans, good look, catch and shoot for Wager, halfway home. But right place, right time on the follow is Grady Tomazos.
Ottawa-Glandorf dominating on the glass. 9-3 rebound advantage. It's paying dividends.
Here's another shot. This time Gage Bodie able to drill it. And so far it definitely looks like the senior, he's looking for his. Titans can't respond. Long rebound out to Keller. He'll find Washington. Running the lane. Nearly lost it, but recollects for the scoop.
Great job by Washington. Bobbled it a little bit there. Was able to gather it and finish. Little 4-0 run here by Margaretta to get them back to within 4.
Titans swing it side to side so well. They'll give a look inside for Ross Mag. He won't get a touch. Now here's White off the attack. Count it.
Well, that's why he's possibly going to be Mr. Basketball. They ran a little action. They dribbled off the baseline against the zone. Ball went back to White. He attacked the paint, was able to get fouled and finish.
Another sensational start for Colin White, who's had an unbelievable career. 3 rebounds and now 7 points.
The thing that's most impressive is he does it within their offense. It's not like he's out here just taking 10 early shots. He's just so efficient.
White has yet to miss on the night as the Bears break the pressure with Tate Bailey in the bounce. Now Judah Keller kind of in no man's land. Has to hand off. OG switching everything up top. Margaretta having a tough time figuring out really how to attack that, dissect it.
Well, Ottawa-Glandorf is just so physical. You can tell these guys spend a lot of time in the weight room. And you just can't cut or screen without being ridden off the ball by OG.
But how about that move by Judah Keller? Really low dribble. Took it on the left side, and he's on the scoreboard now for the first time tonight. White off the hesitation. The mid-range misses first shot. Rebound to the Polar Bears, and we'll get a foul in the backcourt. This is going to go on Colin White. Just a little reach in.
A little bit of a frustration foul there. As soon as Colin reached in, he knew he shouldn't have. Not the fouls you want to give or get if you're Colin.
So Margaretta's going to inbound. Just 2 fouls so far on OG. Bears have 3.
Nice job by Margaretta. They're down 10-2. They've kind of settled in here.
Washington picked up by White. Now Keller, who just scored the last basket, brought it into traffic, had to come back out for Julian. 5 wide for the Bears, a lot of cutting lanes. And now Keller to the left hand, pitches to the corner, 3 for Cale. Bailey finds its home.
Well, they drove it into the interior of the defense. Helper just wasn't quick enough on the closeout. Got the open 3.
All of a sudden back to a 2-point game. Titans looking for a big answer. They don't get it here. But Alex Wager with the offensive rebound. He'll be fouled. Keller picks up his first.
Ottawa-Glandorf's getting the looks they want on those corner 3s, but they're just 1 of 5 from 3-point land.
Get a couple of substitutions for Glandorf. Ross Mag back out on the floor. And they'll have it with 25.5 seconds remaining here in the opening quarter. Titans have led so far from the tip. And they'll get a chance for the last shot here of the frame.
Chance for Ottawa-Glandorf to double up. Last shot here most likely, and then they start the second quarter with possession.
Ball movement from right to left. They'll flash White through. He doesn't get a look. Now out of the double team. They throw it inside for Schroeder. And the follow at the horn, just a little bit short for Ross. So we've got 1 quarter in the books here at Bowling Green. Margaretta's battled back, down by 2.
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports services as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects, check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center, we build better.
Regional Championship Division III action here at the Stroh Center on the fabulous campus of Bowling Green. Sees a #1 team in the state with a 2-point lead. It'll stay that way with their first shot here of the second, off target for Caden Erford. I'm Brian Skowronski. Mark Bollinger is with me here tonight. And that's been a problem so far for OG, now 1 of 7 from downtown.
Yeah, the struggles continue for OG from 3-point land. They start hitting shots, Margaretta could be in a little bit of trouble, but right now that zone defense is working.
Meanwhile, Keller down the lane, has to force it up. Bailed down here by Tyson Bailey, but he's stripped. Finds its way back into his hands, and we'll get a jump ball. Possession arrow is going to keep it down here.
A lot of physical play down in the post. If you have the ball down there, you better be strong with it or it's going to get ripped out of there. Ball's going to come back to Washington on a little curl cut.
And he'll step through, switch to the left. Wow, gorgeous move that time by Julian.
Great job by Julian. Faked it, stepped through, finished with the left. He's an impressive young player.
Julian Washington's got 4 points, a couple of assists so far.
Margaretta has to be extremely happy right now. Settled in nicely, now on an 11-3 run.
And a bad pass inside. Grant Schroeder overshot the intended target, so it'll be, I think, just the first turnover for OG. It is.
Well, they ran White through to the corner, and then they screened the zone behind it. A little miscommunication on who is supposed to stop there in that gap. It would have been open, but the ball was thrown out of bounds.
Margaretta's done a really nice job of handling that full court pressure. No deflections, no turnovers off of it.
Yeah, Ottawa-Glandorf is just relentless on the defensive end, so to handle it the way they have has been impressive.
Rattles in and out on the three for Julian here on the near side corner.
Great effort there by Bodie. He almost came up with the offensive rebound, but just another impressive hustle play. Sort of like we talked about in the first game with Shelby. Margaretta is not in all. They've come out and played tonight. They're not out here looking at the rankings and worrying about this. They've just come out and played. And good start for them here a couple minutes into quarter number 2.
Just a sliver through the defense for Colin White. You never see a missile mid-tight like that. Washington with the head of steam, like a fullback, misses that one as well. So a couple of point-blank range shot. Money left on the table for each offensive unit. Ball is on the way. It's a little long for Erford from three-point land, and the Bears hold them to a one and done. Washington spinning, tied up, but a foul comes first on Schroeder. Schrader, I beg your pardon. They did give me the pronunciation tip here. So off the foul, Bodie pitches, Washington, pull up, buckets.
That was pure. Took the handoff, stopped on a dime. Baseline jumper goes. Margaretta gets their lead.
It's a long two for Julian Washington. OG remains cold. Tapped out to the perimeter. They'll keep the possession alive. Step through. Wild shot, but a foul comes, and it'll land Caden Erford on the line.
A little bit out of control. Bailed out by the foul. Erford, second team all-district selection. Chance to get back to the line and tie it up.
Caden, 14 points here on Wednesday night in the win against Emmanuel Christian. He's kind of been that second guy scoring-wise to Colin White all season. And I'll make the pair. So we're all even, 15 apiece. As Bodie dribbles into a double team. And White snipes in. He's going coast to coast. Another and one, and something to say to Judah Keller.
Well, overplayed the passing lane, was able to come up with the steal. Got the hoop and the harm.
So Colin White continues to impress so far. First steal, averages about 3 per contest. And he's got a silky smooth stroke from the charity stripe to put him in double figures.
OG changes up, goes to a diamond press, 1-2-1-1.
Bodie again is able to find a sliver of space. Got a good look and just barely off target. Ball out to the corner, and a foul on the drive will land OG and Grant Schrader on the free throw line.
Well, Schrader came up with the ball, baseline attack. Was able to get his left side of his body into the defender. Because of it, get a chance to get to the line, add to his point total.
Grant's got 3 points so far. As we'll get a substitution here for OG Alex Wager. He's back into the mix in favor of Tumazos. And the second one rattles through.
Ottawa-Glandorf stays with the full court pressure.
And we'll get a kick off the inbound off of Ross Magg's left foot.
Margaretta might want to get a little wider on that baseline. They took it out and went right under the basket.
Bears again able to evade the pressure. Saw an absolute onslaught in that game against Emmanuel Christian in the semifinals where they were turning it over like crazy at the beginning of the game. Margaretta, though, misfires. OG on the run out. Gets a three straight away for White. Big offensive board and the stick back for Schrader.
Well, Schrader just doing work. Continues the domination on the glass. 17-9, OG.
And it's now 8-5 in favor of the Titans here in this quarter, starting to put together a little run. Double team trap down in the corner. Washington tried the one-time pass. If he was able to hit Keller in stride, they would have had a 2-on-1.
Yeah, he had the right idea. Just threw it a little bit too far out in front. But again, the length of Ottawa-Glandorf, you get in that trap, using the baseline sideline as extra defenders, it's just so difficult to get that ball out of there cleanly.
So we'll get a timeout on the floor. It looks like it's just going to be a 30-second timeout. Presented by Danny's Cafe up in Rossford. And a big shout out to Brad Morrison of both Maumee Bay Turf, along with Danny's Cafe, of supporting this broadcast here tonight. Reached out, said we'd like to bring a live stream for Margaretta and their fans, and it seems like they shut down the entire town and all came here anyways, Mark, but at least they'll have the memories on video.
It looks like it. There's just great representation from both communities, and sometimes it doesn't show up on video if you're watching a game online, but the way these two teams are playing, just how hard they're playing, the intensity they're playing with is just out of this world. Both squads doing a great job of putting it all on the line here in the first half.
The lead has been stretched out to 6 now for the Titans, looking to keep it going. White loses his balance, still finds his teammate Erford cutting on the baseline.
Good job by Erford. Saw White getting in trouble, ran that cut to the basket, was able to get there and finish, and another turnover.
Wow, back-to-back giveaways now as the pressure burst in a little bit of pipes. Tate Bailey, he's handled it so far. Bad pass that time to Washington.
That happens with the pressure. When you face it consistently, you may go a while where you handle it, and then all of a sudden you get a 2 or 3 minute stretch where 4 or 5 turnovers that can completely change a game.
Catch and shoot, Erford. Not this time, and the rebound collected by Bailey. This time the Bears on the hop, get down to the other end. Keller switches it inside, and Bailey caps it off.
Good cut by Tyson. Saw an opening, flashed to the basket. Pass was delivered. He was able to finish over White.
Here's Colin with the acceleration. Pass a little high for Wager. And now Colin will cut through. White just sees over the top of the defense so well, delivers to Schrader. They'll miss it, but Erford working the glass again. Erford now with 6. Got some second chance points to his name. As Keller knifes it in. Bailey, back-to-back buckets for the Bears.
Little jump hook there by Tyson Bailey on the left block. Nice soft touch, hit front rim. Able to get it to drop.
White, right hand, gets to his sweet spot. Again, another offensive rebound. Washington with the swat. But he throws it off the hip of Keller. Bodies diving all over the place. Julian comes away with it. Look at the speed, the setup. buckets for Margaretta in transition for Tate Bailey.
Great play by Washington. Scramble for the ball. He comes out with it. He was probably going to be able to get to the rim, but it may have been contested. He gave it up. Unselfish play leads to 2.
Back down to 4. It's been kind of a seesaw battle. Little runs going on each side. From the foul line, Erford back out to White. He was ready to shoot, and he pounces on it.
And Margaretta continues to stay in the zone. Colin just spaced the floor, found the gap.
Washington got White in the air, and he sends one through from the foul line.
Well, you have 2 outstanding teams going at it, and you have 2 individual players here that are just amazing, just going shot for shot.
Washington now has 8. White with a game-high 13. Erford spinning inside, loses the defender, misses the shot, but it's tapped into the hands of Wager. Now Colin loses the handle, but he pitches to the corner to Erford. And the Bears defend it well. They'll force White to come back out top and reset. Little grab of the shorts here for Julian Washington. He plays the full 32 just about every night. And Coach McLaughlin says, hey, if they're not going to come guard, let's hold for that final shot. 5-point cushion already.
Well, and just like the end of the first quarter, a chance to double up. Ottawa-Glandorf will start the second half with the basketball.
Kind of like it up. I saw one person in the audience stand up. Everyone's starting to follow, Mark.
Well, we're at 23 seconds, and by the time we get to 5, I think you're going to have the entire arena on their feet. What a great first half this has been.
Erford standing, he'll give the screen. White looking to go to work. A series of in and out dribbles. Now he pulls up. Back iron. Washington with the board. And he'll just dribble out the half. It was a good one, folks. OG and Margaretta. State number 1 versus state number 5. Back and forth action all the way as they'll head into the halftime lockers to talk things over. For us, we'll take a quick commercial break. When we return, we will have all the halftime stats that we think you need to know. Get you all set up for quarter number 3. You're enjoying live and free high school sports right here on the OH Report.
Hi, I'm OH Report founder Brian Skowronski, and you've just enjoyed first half action live and free exclusively right here on the OH Report. But stick around, still plenty more to come right here as our boys high school basketball returns after this.
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports surfaces as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects, check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center, we build better.
Our regional championship broadcast brought to you folks live and free here on the LOH Report. Thanks to our two amazing sponsors, and a big shout out to Brad Morrison for making this happen for us here today. Big thank you to Maumee Bay Turf Center. They are the elite company, not just in the state of Ohio or the region, kind of nationally now. So if you are a school or a facility that is looking to get some new turf, #1 in the game, bar none, worldwide, they get it done. Hit them up. Check out their website down in the description and get a hold of Brad if you guys need to get some services and some new turf. Pretty much anywhere you look around the state, if they got some great looking facilities, it's probably because of Maumee Bay Turf. Big thank you as well to Danny's Cafe in Rossford. St. Patrick's Day weekend is here, ladies and gents. Party at Danny's with next level DJs until 1 a.m. tonight, and then you can join them tomorrow morning for festivities and fun beginning at 8 a.m. So if you're looking to celebrate a regional championship, like I know the Shelby Whippets are, maybe head on out. Check them out at Danny's. We are going to take one more very brief commercial timeout. When we come back, we will have your halftime report. See you in a minute.
Hi, I'm OH Report founder Brian Skowronski, and you've just enjoyed first half action live and free exclusively right here on the OH Report. But stick around, still plenty more to come right here as our boys high school basketball returns after this.
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports surfaces as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects, check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center, we build better.
It's halftime here inside of the Stroh Center as we welcome you back to Bowling Green, Ohio for the Maumee Bay Turf Center halftime show. And 2 quarters in the books, 2 pretty good ones I might add. 28-23, Ottawa-Glandorf, the #1 team in the state, on top of Margaretta. I'm Brian Skowronski, Mark Bollinger is with me. We saw 13-11 OG after the first. They would extend their lead by just 3 points with a 15-12 second quarter. But this game, it's gone back and forth. It's been a lot of fun, and you can tell that there are a lot of great athletes and basketball players on both of these teams, and we should be in for a great second half.
It should be an exciting second half here as both teams try to punch their ticket and make it to the state Final Four in Dayton next week. And really impressed with the Margaretta offense. We talked in pregame about how good Ottawa-Glandorf was defensively. Margaretta has shot 48% from the floor and only turned it over 3 times against that good pressure defense of the Titans.
That's actually our producer, just wanted to stretch his legs. Our director is out walking around with the camera right now, so when he gets back, we can show you those halftime stats, Mark. But a couple of individual numbers that, of course, are going to jump out off of the page. We know about the 2 stars. Let's start with our player spotlights. Colin White, 5 of 10 from the floor. He's got 13 points so far to go along with 5 rebounds. And then Julian Washington, efficient as well, 4 of 7, 8 points, 3 assists too. So that's an area of his game where he doesn't tend to have that many. I think that's a little over his season average, but you love seeing it from the youngster coming out here and making big plays, and you can tell the moment was not too big for him.
It was definitely not too big, and both those guys just so unselfish. When they get the ball either on a defensive rebound or on an outlet pass, they are looking ahead in transition, willing to share the ball, willing to give up some of the personal glory for team glory, and you love to see that out of your best players.
Ottawa-Glandorf got to the free throw line 8 times, knocked down 6, just 1 chance so far for Margaretta, and they missed that on the N1 opportunity. Bears also getting out-rebounded right now by 9. They're shooting 47% from the field, OG 34%, but they've been crashing the offensive glass so well, Mark, that they've created extra opportunities for themselves all night with those 10 offensive boards.
10 offensive rebounds have definitely been crucial for Ottawa-Glandorf against this Margaretta 3-2 zone. As you said, just 34% shooting in the first half, including 2 of 12 from 3. If Ottawa-Glandorf can heat up, it could cause the Bears a little bit of trouble. But on the other side of it, if Margaretta can just clean things up on the defensive glass and go one and done, they're going to be in a much better situation as they find themselves trailing 28-23 here as we get ready for quarter number 3.
Pretty cool. See some guys running through in like some Spartan outfits. That's how you know it's tournament basketball, baby. And this environment, no disrespect to the D2 game, but this has been awesome.
It has been amazing, and I don't want to speak outside of a lot of my knowledge that I have, but I'm guessing that this is the fullest it's been, because even though Bowling Green's team's pretty solid this season, I'm sure they didn't fill this place up the way these 2 communities have filled it up.
So this place is packed from floor to ceiling, and our third quarter now underway. It is Titan basketball. They'll start with a look inside for Rossford. Now a switch pass over, and Tommaso steps into one, and he was pretty quiet offensively in the first half. Good start for him, just a second shot. He's made them both.
Quiet no longer. Good ball fake, 1 dribble left, pull-up jumper.
So the Titans stretch their lead out to 7. Bears looking for an answer at the offensive side. They'll flash Washington to the ball up top. Now he'll set a screen. Judah Keller now to the wing. They'll hand it off. Julian straight away. And just a little bit too much with that 3-pointer.
Well, good contest there by Colin White. High hand on the shot. Impacted a little bit. Washington just missed.
Big possession here for OG. They get the score. They got the stop. Now they're looking to extend.
Well, a little diagonal screen there, trying to get White on a post up.
That's exactly what they'll get. Bodie trying to hold his own. Keller comes down, applies some help, and it leads to an open shooter, but not this time for Tomazos.
Again, a good read there by Colin. As soon as he saw the double team coming, just a quick left-handed pass out of the trap led to an open shot, but the shooting woes continue. 2 of 13 from 3 for OG.
Get a ball screen here. Judah Keller gets the switch. Now Tate Bailey out of the corner to Washington.
That's why Ottawa-Glandorf's defense is so good. They're so strong with all 5 guys, and they have such good length across their lineup that they're able to switch those screens, and it has no impact on how they can defend.
They get the stop here. Now the foul on Tate Bailey, who came crashing down into the lane. Tough catch there for Tyson. But as you just complimented OG's defense, really made it tough. 3 guys around the play.
Right, it's little things, just being in the right place at the right time every single possession.
And now a contested shot here for Schrader. And he goes right at the defense. We'll get a timeout taken by Margaretta, as they've seen this thing swell up to the largest deficit for either side tonight. 9 points The Titans enjoying that right now. And they've done it through efficiency and great defense, which pretty much has been their staple all season and pretty much these last couple of years.
Well, you look at the history of a program like Ottawa-Glandorf, they are just so solid fundamentally. They just don't beat themselves. Every single possession, they have everybody in the right spot at the right time. They understand every single defensive rotation in every situation. They understand no matter what set you're running, they know how to defend the action. It just makes it so difficult for you offensively to get any kind of good, clean look because every single action just seems to be contested. And that's just a tribute to Ottawa-Glandorf and their program. They've been outstanding for years, and they're going to continue to be outstanding just because of the coaching and the culture that they have.
So a former coach says coaching matters. Imagine that from Mr.
Coaching
Bollinger.
matters.
But you're absolutely right. Obviously, we've seen this program on the precipice of doing something that very few have in the history of the state. So Tyson McLaughlin, and from everything I've heard from everyone, I've talked to him a couple times here at the regional level. He's just an awesome dude. Like, I would love to play for a guy like that. Meanwhile, he's got Dave Westrick going to the rack and picking up the foul there on the drive for Tate Bailey.
Well, I'm going to follow up on the coaching tidbit with something we talked about in that Shelby Lutheran West game. The work is done in practice. This is done when no one's around watching. You build all of that up, and then tonight you get to just perform. It's like going on stage, 5,000 people here, but the work and stuff is done when no one's around, and that's what makes it so impressive.
2 for 2 on this trip for Bailey, as the junior closes it back down to 7.
OG 1-4 low set here. They ran into a flex cut against the zone.
Now they'll flash wide out. Big size differential here with Tate on him, but he gives it up far side for Schrader.
So Margaretta's staying in the zone. OG running that flex. Look for them to try to maybe slip off of a screen, or instead of getting that last down screen or pin down, post somebody up.
Ball movement, probably 15 passes so far on this possession, leads to a good shot. Schrader across the lane. Judah Keller got slapped twice. Whistle never came, but the Polar Bears able to break the pressure with Tate. Tipped out, and Washington slings it in. The three's on the way. That would have been huge, but Gage Bodie continues to struggle from long range. Oh, back-breaking three at the other end, Caden Erford. So it just kind of felt like a swing of momentum there over the last 15 seconds.
Good news there for Ottawa-Glandorf. Erford gets an open three and gets it to go. Just their third made three of the night. And you can just feel the defensive pressure ramping up here from OG.
Washington pulls up deep from the elbow there. So Julian Washington in double figures.
Silky smooth sophomore. The young man can absolutely fill it.
And they'll need him to continue to fill up that cup here tonight. Glandorf now doing what they've done all night. Keeping it spread, getting a lot of screens and cuts, and they'll reset.
Again, they're going to dribble it off the baseline, run a shooter through.
Now attacking the jump stop down the lane, and the shot for Tomazos had a little bit too much touch. So the Bears on the leak out, but the shot's blacked. Westrick from the backside clipped it.
Well, White flew by, but Westrick was the second one to get there, and he contested and pinned it.
Colin all the way to the rack. He is just so slippery through the lane. And now a turnover. Thefted by Tomazos. Kicks it inside. We'll see what the call is. It's lost out of bounds, but the Titans going to hang on to it.
Well, it's danger time right now for Margaretta. The lead's got to 10. They're on the verge of getting put away here. Another OG run, and this one could be over.
As you see, it's 9-4 here on the Danny's Cafe timeout. And I think that's the proper usage of the term right now. Danger zone is exactly where Margaretta's flying through. So Coach Keller want to talk things over, letting his kids know the situation. As a lot of fans enjoying the view here tonight. Plenty on deck for both sides. But for Ottawa-Glandorf, a double dip. Girls playing in Dayton. And look at how many Titans fans have made it out here tonight, all the way up in Bowling Green, virtually at the opposite end of the state.
Well, and if you look around, you know, they take about half of the arena, and then you kind of wrap around their student section. And the first section, maybe even on Margaretta's side, has a lot of blue and gold in there, blue and yellow. I also love the fact gave credit to the Red Rage from Shelby earlier. The student section from Ottawa-Glandorf decked out in their navy shirts at halftime. Time to change. Blue shirts go off, the white shirts underneath, and now you got the white out for the second half.
It's one of the few teams I've seen pull that one off, Mark.
Great community support.
And a wardrobe change. It's like a Lady Gaga concert. I haven't been to one. I don't actually know.
It's okay. We won't tell you.
But
secrets.
I would.
She's talented.
She is. All right, back to the basketball. Wager's got the basketball up top. Washington given a lot of space.
They're going to go high ball screen with Colin White, see if they can get him downhill.
And this is what he does so well, is that rocker dribble, the inside out, whatever you want to call it. He hit you with a couple of those. If you start shading that way, he'll cross you, and if not, he just barrels down the lane, and he is a load for anybody at 6'6", probably 215 pounds.
I'm really excited to see him about a year from now because he already has a good frame, but he also has the frame that you're going to be able to still put muscle on. You give those guys at Ohio State in the strength and conditioning program a year with this guy, and we think he is strong and can attack the basket now. It's going to be ridiculous in about 12 months.
They continue to pressure to the Titans, and they burst the pipes again. Washington overshoots as Cale Bailey went one way, the ball went the other.
Again, the right idea to break the press. Just that trap is so efficient for Ottawa-Glandorf. Active with their hands, give you very little room to get the ball out, and you have to be pinpoint accurate. And now Margaretta's going to change up and go to a trap. Trap the first pass, didn't get anything. Now they're going to match up kind of behind it.
Keller down on the block, nearly pokes it away, and then had to reach in on Ross Mag with the second attempt. So that'll be foul number 3 here on the Polar Bears in the third.
And again, if you catch the ball anywhere near the paint, it is not for the faint of heart. You better be a man in there because the contact and physicality is coming every single possession.
Grady Tomazos just checked back in. He's got the basketball up top. Just over 2 minutes remaining here before we get to money time. And White throws somebody on a poster.
Holy cow. Colin White with the low rip on the wing. Got by his hip and showtime.
Washington the other way. A showstopper of his own. The last 20 seconds. Trying to make the ESPN top 10. Come on.
This crowd is being given a treat. Colin White.
And then Mr. Washington following in his footsteps. And he's at the free throw line looking for more. 3-point play capped off by Julian. Continues his impressive night. He's got a baker's dozen, 5 rebounds, 3 helpers.
Great composure by Julian. I mean, this place was rocking after the dunk by White. Washington just went down. It's like, I can do this too.
What a feed inside. Point blank range, and Schrader couldn't knock it down.
And Washington was right there. I'm not sure if he got any contact. Oh, Keller is hot.
And Judah Keller, he's a fiery, wiry young chap. Seen him in that Crestview game get his face split wide open. That's why he's got those bandages on there. And it kept their season alive, in my opinion. Down 9 against Crestview in the fourth quarter, and Judah coming back into the game. That was something special to watch.
He is a competitor. One of those guys that you love to have on your team but hate to play against.
Meanwhile, Tomazas, end-to-end.
And Washington again contesting at the rim.
But the offensive rebound, and Erford with the length over the top of the defense. Second chance points.
Well, this arena is starting to come to life even more than it was before.
Nice job by Washington. They'll break the pressure inside. White flies by. Excellent up fake by Kel Bailey. Big move by a freshman. OG checks the clock down to 50 seconds. Bears have been trapping up top, trying to speed him up a little bit as we'll get a runner. It's halfway home for Tomazos.
Big board by Washington. Margaretta quickly in transition.
Oh, bad pass. Shooter Keller thought that he was going to get a cut to the basket. Bailey stayed home. They wanted to try to trim it down to single figures getting to the fourth. Instead, it's going to be Titans trying to add to it. Down to 20 seconds. Everyone rising to their feet on both sides again. I love it.
Looks like they're going to go 3 guys flat on the baseline.
And we're going to get a foul on the floor here to stop the momentum. Last foul to give if you're Margaretta.
Erford with a great drive. He was able to get by the defender, had to reach out and grab him.
See some of the fans trying to call for an intentional foul. Not too far off as Tate Bailey just grabbed the uniform.
Box set here by Ottawa-Glandorf.
It's the forced foul on Bailey too, so he's got to check out. Here's White, baseline, strong play, count it!
Well, they went to a box set, inbound to Colin White. Faked the handoff in the corner for Erford. White kept it, baseline, move, and finished. Strength right there by Colin White.
He is just like a bull in a sheep pen, just knocking people around and always seems to keep his balance.
Well, that may be one of his most impressive traits, is just the fact that he's so skilled and strong, but he seems to always be on balance and make the right play. It's what makes him so special.
Final shot for Keller. Takes a hop into the student section. And OG, pretty important close to the frame with that and one. They win the third 18-9 as we head to the fourth. 14-point difference in favor of the number 1 Titans.
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports surfaces as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects, check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center, we build better.
Monster third quarter for the defending regional champions. Sees Ottawa-Glandorf with a 46-32 cushion as we enter money time. Winner moving on to the state Final Four. Glandorf's been there 3 years in a row. Margaretta never been to a regional final until tonight. They got a lot of work to do. Judah Keller. Hesitation, bounds in the lane, and he gets it to fall. Headed to the free throw line after the foul. Excellent start if you're a Bears fan.
Big basket there. Third quarter didn't go your way if you're Margaretta, but to come out and score on your first possession was critical.
And Keller gets a friendly hop. 3 quick points here for Margaretta. And for the first time that we've seen, they're getting in that 1-2-1-1 full court pressure. Titans handle it. And they'll end their set here with Tomazos. Colin White up top, sends it underneath, and here comes Erford. Starting to pick things up here in the second half.
And that's what makes Ottawa-Glandorf so good. Everybody talks about Colin White, but they've got a bunch of guys that can play.
Tricky shot at the other end for Judah Keller. So it's one and done for the Bears.
Ottawa-Glandorf probably going to take good care of the ball here, just move it and get the shot that they want. They understand time and score. Head by 13, they're in complete control.
Showing a lot of poise here at the offensive end. Trying to get a clean look, and Bodie on the inside knocks over 1, 2, 3 players, a couple of Titans.
Ottawa-Glandorf went to the flex offense. Colin White trying to come off of that screen. Just a lot of contact. Official called the foul.
So in come the perspiration cleanup crew. Been doing a great job all week here at the Stroh Center. And I'm trying to think of exactly how many games have been here, but this the last of the weekend, of course. As we get a mid-range J on the pull-up, a little short for Tomazos.
Good box out there by Margaretta. Able to clear out, get the ball out of the trap, see if they can get an open shooter.
It was a challenging catch for Washington. Left hand to the foul line, kick out for Bodie. And he's 0 for 4 now from downtown. White, head of steam. Gets in, but he's able to, the Bears are able to collect the rebound. As Bodie whirls his way into the lane, and we'll get a blocking foul. So 2 free throws coming up for Gage.
Both guys went down to the floor hard. He had a full head of steam, and he just attacked the basket. Defender slid in just a little bit late. But again, Margaretta, a chance to cut into this lead with the clock stopped.
Huge collision into the chest of Schrader, as you mentioned. Both players taking their time to get up. Bodie still got 1 more free throw on the way. Sitting on 4 points for the night. Lone senior on the Polar Bear roster.
For Margaretta, 3-point shot could be crucial here in the fourth quarter. It hasn't went down so far today, just 1 of 8 from 3-point land. You have to make some shots here if you're going to make this comeback, quarter number 4. What a luxury for Ottawa-Glandorf. Any team that pressures you like Margaretta, I'm sure they have turned teams over with their pressure all year. You just give it to Colin White, 6'6" point guard out there making good decisions.
And then you feed it to this guy on the block, and Caden Erford will make him pay. And dude's up to 15 points now, and a lot of those coming in half number 2.
He has been impressive for sure. 6 points in the first half, chance to get his 10th here in the second.
Another member of this vaunted senior class for the Titans. 7 12th graders on the roster for Coach McLaughlin. And all they've ever known is getting to state finals. Washington with the runner down the right side.
He's going to be fun to watch over the next few seasons. Margaretta just continues to battle. He's not really cutting into the lead, but they're not letting Ottawa-Glandorf pull away and finish him off.
Bears could certainly use a stop here on this possession. Said they'll leave a wide open player, but White skies in to save the day with the stick back. 26-8 now for the Buckeye recruit. Judah Keller pops the top on the three. White with rebound number 9.
I think he would have been better off to shoot it right away. He came off the down screen, caught and was open, hesitated for a second, and then decided to take the shot. Now 1 of 9 from three-point range.
Posting him down on the block. Double team comes. Pass in traffic. White tries to get it back, but it's a turnover. Here comes Gage Bodie to the corner. Keller lets it fly again. He's missed his last couple. And inside, here comes Judah. Off the missed shot for Tyson Bailey. A lot of fans thinking that it should stay with the Polar Bears, but we're heading the other way.
Colin White straight up with the contest. Ball gets tipped. Margaretta fans thought that when it was tipped, it deflected off an Ottawa-Glandorf player.
Look one more time on the Danny's Cafe of Rossford replay. Tough to see.
Well, looking at a few scores from around the state, the winner of this game next weekend will play in the semifinals against Harvest Prep out of Columbus. Harvest Prep took care of Malvern today, 64-44. And then one of the other teams that a lot of people are talking about in a matchup that I know people that I've talked to really would like to see in a Division III state championship game would be Lutheran East against Ottawa-Glandorf. Lutheran East won today, 56-43. They have a player that's committed going to Michigan State. Of course, Colin White going to Ohio State. And I know a lot of people are hoping to see that big-time matchup of 2 Big Ten guys going at it for a state title.
Some Big Ten border flavor right there. Michigan and Ohio. Can't get a whole lot better than that. OG, though, got to hang on here tonight and knock off a game. Number 5 Margaretta squad, who got to start applying some pressure, getting some stops.
Great effort so far here by Margaretta. We talked in the pregame about the lack of experience at this level of play, regional finals. They've showed very well tonight here. Played a really solid game against the number 1 team in the state.
But this guy right here with the basketball, he's been special all tournament. Would love to cap off his career with the state championship, closing in on 2,000 points, Mr. Colin White. And you're right, just that 6'6" frame, looking over the top of the defense up top. This is where he's just so lethal.
Well, and then you have Caden Erford out there with him, and like I said, another senior that's just been through the battles, and a big guard who can handle the ball. You have Colin out there, it's nice, and then you add Erford to the mix. It makes it pretty easy.
Now Schrader checks back in. Send Westrick over to the sideline. So they'll get some ball handling into the game. Herford off the attack with the left hand. Back-to-back fouls now committed by the Bears. That's their last to give here in the 4th.
And down to 3 minutes and 4 seconds to go here. If you're Margaretta, that's not a bad foul. You're probably going to have to put Ottawa-Glandorf to the line because they're not going to turn the ball over very often. And up by 14, they're just willing to spread the floor, make you foul, or take the layup.
Glandorf has turned it over just 3 times tonight, Mark. Bears have done a nice job too, only 7 giveaways for them.
Yeah, very cleanly played game.
And with that 5th foul on Tate Bailey, the junior checks out. So his night will be finished. As the Titans looking to finish this one off here tonight. Off the trap, here's Gage. They'll get into the hands of Julian on the run out. He lost total control. I still thought he was going to flip it up and in.
He lost his balance. Still almost came up with the amazing shot.
Oh my gosh, that would have been some insane English.
Margaretta able to get the trap in the half court and get the turnover. Now they get another one. Good play.
So 3 turnovers all game, 2 now in the last several seconds for OG. Can the Polar Bears get anything out of it? Bodie has not been able to land the missile in its home from long range, and now it's thrown away for Washington.
Just 1 of 11 from 3 for Margaretta.
Now here's White snaking through the defense off the kick out. Titans more concerned about running some clock than they are getting a shot. Oh, but you can't pass those up. Alex Wager, nobody in sight. He's on the scoreboard.
And that much is what makes Colin White so good. He just makes it look so easy, just scanning the floor, sees Margaretta make a mistake on a rotation, gets it to Wager for the easy 2, extends this lead to 16.
Now here's Keller. Fall away jumper is good. Final 95 seconds. Polar Bears with the trap up top on White.
Good decision by Schrader. Could have taken it to the basket. Instead, he's willing to bring the ball back out and run clock. They're a minute 20 away from the final 4.
And Washington makes the decision to put Tomazos on the line. As that's foul number 5 on Margaretta. And I see a few Polar Bear fans starting to make their way towards the exit. Down by 14, just over a minute to go. So Grady Tommaso, 6-foot junior, buries the first free throw.
Well, the final score's not going to be indicative of how close this game was. Margaretta played a solid basketball game. Ottawa-Glandorf just proving to everybody why they're number 1 in the state.
Titans just had a couple of looks off of 2 offensive rebounds that they couldn't capitalize on. But in a great position to cut down the nets here at Bowling Green yet again for the 4th straight season. Closing minute now. Bodie launches and finally hits. And he gave one of those looks like, now it goes in.
Yeah, the old, are you kidding me? Tough look there, contested, but he was able to get that one to drop. Cuts it to a 12-point game. Just under a minute to go.
And Bodie's played well here tonight in this game. It's going to be the final of his career, and it's provided a lot of leadership for this very young crew. Can't be an easy spot, even for the number 5 team in the state, to be the only player from your class that's participating.
That's pretty tough, and to be able to be that senior captain and lead your team to the Elite 8, great season, won a lot of games against a lot of good competition. Just congratulations to him on a great senior year, and to his ball club on a wonderful run here through the tournament. You know, to get here, we talked about, you know, you top a top 10 team in Crestview, you knock off a top 10 team in Worthington Christian. You know, they've played really good basketball here in March, and you know, again, represent themselves extremely well here tonight against Ottawa-Glandorf.
Titans immediately get it into White. And off the pressure, it's knocked out of his hands. Julian Washington might have got hit in the midsection. Kind of hunched over right now. And White as well, both wincing. Didn't look like there was significant contact. Evidently, we didn't see it.
That, or maybe took a shot to the nose.
Tomazos fouled, and He's heading right back to the free throw line.
So 4-possession game here, down 12. Margaretta tried to get steal out of the trap. They weren't successful in doing that, so they gave the quick foul. Still 52 seconds to go. They're going to need a little bit of help here from OG.
Free throw wanted to hop out. Friendly roll there for Grady. And the lead back up to 14. Polar Bears starting to run out of time as they'll get a shot up by the lefty, and Nolan Wiley a little too much. Washington, and we know where that one hit.
And great sportsmanship there by Washington. Didn't mean to hit him in that area, but once he did, he immediately was checking to be sure he was okay. We've seen that several times throughout the game from Washington.
Keller off the screen, bends around, popped out of his hands. Now Bodie airmails this one. Titans with the rebounds. And Margaretta forces the jump ball. It is going to be still with Ottawa-Glandorf, as their fan base believes that they have won, and in 26.7 ticks, that indeed will be the case. Dayton bounds yet again. Coach Keller in a nice gesture, gonna get in some of his younger guys. And some hugs being shared on the floor.
That's what you like to see. Both teams emptying their bench here, giving guys who put in the time and effort at practice in the offseason a chance to step out on the floor, participate in a regional final game.
And now Colin White gets taken out of the game to a huge ovation, and boy, can you imagine that guy right now, just a sensation, senior year. He's been on the doorstep so many times, and so far checking all the boxes this season. This was a big one, had to get over this hurdle to get back to Dayton.
Well, and the mission was to win a state title, and they still have unfinished business. Tonight, it's a good win, but for Ottawa-Glandorf, they want 2 more.
But for now, job well done, as the Titans up on their feet, cheering on their team, who just secured a 57-43 victory. Ottawa-Glandorf, state bound again, regional champions here at Bowling Green for a 4th consecutive season. Stick around after a quick commercial timeout. We'll be back. We will have the medal presentation, the celebration, the net cutting. We'll hear from some of the key players and coach in the media room. And then our most valuable player, I think it's got to go to you-know-who, Mr. 22. All that coming up on the other side of a quick commercial timeout. Stay there.
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports services as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects, check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center, we build better.
Here comes Tate Bailey to get his. Finished tonight with 4 points, 4 assists. Did a nice job of being a distributor tonight. Aiden Miller got in the last 29 seconds, as did Keegan Morris. But here comes Julian Washington. Our player spotlight tonight only sat out for 29 seconds. Efficient evening, 7 of 13 from the floor. Grabbed 8 rebounds, filled it up for 15 points. And that kid, he's going to be a pleasure to watch over these next 2 years as he continues to grow.
He is going to be a good one. 15 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. He was solid. And as you said, next few years, wow. That kid's going to be a player, because I'm sure he's going to continue to work at it. And he's going to have some more special moments on this floor.
Judah Keller also has 2 more years remaining. 3 of 9 for the sophomore point guard tonight. Grabbed 5 boards, 7 points, 3 helpers. Final game of the career of Gage Bodie. 3 of 12 from the floor. 1 of 7. He had some good looks. Could have been game-changing if he could have knocked down a couple of those earlier on, but finishes with 8 points, a couple rebounds, and 4 steals.
Ron, he just plays so hard. And again, he's helped change the culture and set the standard for this group. Congratulations to him.
Now Tyson Bailey getting his silver medal. 4 points for him tonight. Collected 7 rebounds. And now here comes Steve Keller. Been around the program for a long time now. Led them to their first district championship in, I think, like 60 years, a couple of years back with that Leibarger crew. And here they are enjoying their most successful season ever. So the building blocks, the stepping stones are in place. And how about this? What a gesture by Bodie to allow some of these younger guys to come out with them and get that trophy. And Julian, he's not shy. He's like, man, I worked hard for that. I'll take it.
He'll take it. Again, just great experience for these younger players. You get a chance to play in this kind of setting, in this kind of environment, against this kind of team, and it'll do nothing but benefit you in the future. And for some of these guys, this loss is going to be a motivator. They may work hard in the past, but you get this close and then come up just a little bit short. Might be a little motivator when you don't want to get out of bed and go get shots up or get to the weight room. Could be the key, that a little trigger for you. So I'm sure we're going to see some really good basketball next year again out of the Polar Bears.
But no team has been able to beat this one, the Titans, on this stage for 4 years strong. Gold medals yet again for Ottawa-Glandorf. And what a collection of talent they have, specifically within that senior class. So much depth, height, ability, and that's why they're really having this special stretch right now, Mark, because a lot of these guys, I remember them from when they were freshmen and then sophomores when they played Colonel Crawford in an unbelievable Elite 8 game here. They were getting plenty of minutes, and now that they've grown up and they're the leaders, you can tell they're making a big impact.
They have made a big impact, and that impact will carry over, because you look down their roster. Yes, this senior class is outstanding, and they still have unfinished business, but you've got some guys that play a lot of minutes that are coming back. You've got some good size with some younger players, just looking out there. Holden Aldrich, 6'7" sophomore. So Ottawa-Glandorf is not going away. Anybody that thinks, Colin White and crew are going to graduate and Ottawa-Glandorf is going to kind of come back to the pack, I'm not so sure.
That'll be a big departure, of course, with White heading down to Columbus next season. His night, 10 of 17, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 26 points, 11 boards, 3 assists too.
Stat sheet stuffer. That's what he does, and it doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but just the leadership and the calm, the aura that he gives off. He's just so smooth playing the game. It just comes so easy, makes the right decisions, and it's going to be a lot of fun if you're a Buckeye fan to watch him over the next few years.
Yeah, I think that's a great get by them to keep him within state. He's going to have a lot of fanfare. Plenty of people going down to the state tournament have come to know the name Colin White. And for the first time as a senior now, he gets to come out and collect the regional championship hardware.
Well, and you love watching this team and the way they reacted. When the buzzer went off, they acted and celebrated like it was the first regional championship they've made. You can just tell the passion that this group has for trying to finish the job and win a state championship, and just the emotion. And congratulations to them, well earned. They should be extremely happy.
Their fan base as well. Plenty of OG Nation sticking around here, and what a long day it's had to have been for them. The journey to Dayton, now they're back up here at Bowling Green. A little bit of misery earlier, so at least you get to end the night with some good emotions.
You get to end it with some positive emotions, but yeah, long day. 2 o'clock tip-off in Dayton for the girls' championship game, and then a 7 p.m. tip here tonight. So a long day, but you know what? When you grow up in that area and supporting Ottawa-Glandorf, these are the days that you love. Both these teams representing well. Girls ending the season as state runner-up, the boys with the chance to bring home a title next weekend. There are a lot of teams, a lot of communities that would do a lot of things to be able to have the opportunity to watch 2 games in a day like that.
And a nice gesture here by the basketball team. Let the cheerleaders start this thing off, get their little piece of history.
I love it.
So the net cutting celebration is on here at the Stroh Center. OG with some unfinished business to attend to. Their season far from over. And I think as expected, getting back to the big stage again.
Well, and that matchup with Harvest Prep is going to be fun to watch. Harvest Prep, extremely athletic, came back from a couple points down in a district championship game to beat Columbus Afrocentric, who was extremely good. I saw them in their first round game and tournament, and I was so impressed by Afrocentric. Harvest Prep rallied late, was able to win that game, and then went on to regionals and had a pretty easy time of it. Very good on the perimeter. They have a point guard extremely quick. Ottawa-Glandorf, though, you know they're going to bring that defensive effort, and Harvest Prep is going to be a good matchup for them. But those 2 teams, that's going to be a good one in Dayton in the state semifinals.
Definitely looking forward to seeing that all go down as the Titans and their community all getting a little piece of history here. Now, Mark, as a coach, were you a district champion once?
We were district champions, yes. We had the opportunity, the pleasure of winning a district championship. It was the first one since, and I guess it's the only one since 1975. And because we were fortunate enough to win districts, we were able to go to Wright State and take on a team out of Cincinnati called North College Hill. They just happened to go back-to-back state championships with a guy named O.J. Mayo and Phil Walker.
Heard of him.
Yeah. Sweet 16 didn't end so well for us on that day. Yeah.
Not so sweet, huh?
Not so sweet, but it's great to win a state, or excuse me, it'd be great to win a state title. Great to win a district championship and cut down the nets and get to regional level. But unfortunately for my coaching career, that trip didn't end too well for us. But for Ottawa-Glandorf, it ends in a great way. Again, cutting down the nets, and we get to go to Dayton and see what they can do against some really good basketball teams.
Very cool moment here for OG, one that they're accustomed to.
Well, and I'm sure, these coaches and players and community, it doesn't get old. Anytime you can climb that ladder and cut down the net, it's a thrill. I think what sometimes gets lost in the mix of this is how hard it is to win and get to that level. There are so many good basketball teams in the state of Ohio, and you see upsets all the time where teams that you think are going to get to this regional play or state play, they just don't get there. They just run into other teams along the way, and you just look in our area. Crestview has an amazing season, outstanding, and you have Crestview and Margaretta that have to match up in districts. One of them unfortunately doesn't even make it to the Sweet 16.
Sure.
You look at Division II, that district had 5 teams of the top 23 in Division II. You had a top 23 team that didn't even get to districts. Just the way the geography and it falls every year, it's so hard, and it just makes what Ottawa-Glandorf does even more impressive to do this 4 times in a row.
It's hard to even fathom what it's like for a public school to be able to reload, recalibrate, make it happen year after year. That's exactly been the case here for this program.
And that credit, I believe, goes to the community, because there is a standard and an expectation. I have no doubt in my mind that when these guys were little, they already understood the expectation. I've known some guys that went to OG, that played at OG. I've coached a couple of guys at the college level that were Ottawa-Glandorf guys, and it's a way of life. I mean, if you're a Titan, you're a Titan, and you grow up, and when you're doing that, you don't lose. You grow up and you win, and if you're not winning, they're going to find people that are going to win, and they just that culture in the community. I mean, you saw the support tonight.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I guess people would say I'm old-fashioned, but I love tonight where you have an environment with 2 schools where the school is still the center of the community. And boy, did these 2 communities represent tonight and show out for these 2 good basketball clubs. It's going to be a little bit different in the semifinal. You're going to have Ottawa-Glandorf, Phil, and Dayton.
Yeah.
And then you're going to look down to the other end, and you're going to have Harvest Prep and maybe 50 people. It's just a difference. It's a difference.
And it's helped lead this gentleman and this entire crew to all these great fortunes that they've enjoyed over the last several seasons. Never falling short here in the regional rounds. They've had to go through some battles, and Colin says, I'm taking the whole thing, baby. Wow. 4-year starter, leading scorer in the history of the program, and they've had some good ones, Mark. That's what makes it even more impressive.
They've had a lot of good ones. There are we can go on and on about Ottawa-Glandorf. There are programs that are blessed, and there's a lot of them throughout the state that have had good players. And then you look at places like Ottawa-Glandorf and some other places where, man, the guys that have come through there, and not only what they've done at OG, then they go on to the next level and put up numbers. And for him to come through and be one of the best, some people say maybe the best, that's impressive.
Well, numbers speak for themselves, and closing in on 2,000 points and 4 regional chips. I'd say that he's in the conversation.
I would say he's in the conversation. He has the individual numbers. He has the team numbers. He definitely a Mount Rushmore guy of Ottawa-Glandorf basketball.
Here they are posing for the team photo at the Stroh Center. Still got some fans behind them here in the student section. This place far from cleared out. A lot of people enjoying this moment, this experience with this group, this team, and this senior class specifically, who's come up through the ranks and have made the most of their opportunities.
I'm old-fashioned in another way in that I look back on the 2 games we called today, and you have Alex Bruscotter and crew from Shelby. You have Julian Washington and the group from Margaretta. You've got the Lutheran West guys. I know it got a little chippy at the end when things weren't good. You look at Colin White and this group from Ottawa-Glandorf. All 4 teams just played the game the right way. They played so hard. Yeah, there was a little bit of talking, but not a lot. There was good sportsmanship, helping each other up off the floor. All 4 teams today just played with such intensity and with such good understanding of how to play the game. And as a former coach, you love to see that, playing the game right by all these guys and what they did. Just a great day of basketball here at Bowling Green.
And we still got a little bit more to go. You see there, that is the media room all set up. We'll get a couple of players in there along with their head coach, Tyson McLaughlin. We will hear from them, and we will have more coming up after a quick commercial break. You're enjoying live and free post-game coverage on the OH Report.
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports surfaces as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects, check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center, we build better.
We'll now throw it into the press conference room where we've got the head coach, Mr. Keller, for Margaretta, along with his lone senior on the roster, Gage Bodie.
With how we didn't, allow them to get out and really spurt early. They did a little bit, but we were able to fight back, and, it wasn't a huge first quarter for them. I thought we handled their pressure pretty well for the night, even 8 turnovers. Just many stretches where it hurt us, but ultimately, this game is not that hard as far as what you got to do to be successful. We just didn't shoot it well enough tonight. It's just not simple, and it really that they have and the execution and everything that they do, we have to make some shots, and unfortunately we did not do that tonight. The guys' effort and their battle and their way to compete. And that's all you can ask for. With me right just taking our culture to another level, and I'm so thankful to these guys, man. They're great seniors.
What did you think of playing Colin, in a game?
Yeah, playing Colin is it's not anything. I don't want to say it's not anything new, but he was a former Ohio Bucket, so my varsity assistant had him playing for his organization for many years. So we know Colin's game. We practiced with the buckets. So, we saw Colin often. But he's just good. He's good. And the thing that's the difficult part in the high school game is he's not 6'1". He's 6'6", and he can do what 5'10" guys can do, and he can do what 6'6" guys can do, and he can really do it all. And he's just a load, man. But tonight, Rossford is that second option, and he had a nice game with 15. And our hope was that we could make others have to beat us a little bit, but then you get Schroeder with 8 and Grady Tomazos with 7. That's just a little bit of balance that they need in a situation like a regional final. And let's also say, we go in down 5, and this is, I believe, OG's 4th regional championship in a row, so they know this environment. We're needing to lead 8, and I thought we gave ourselves a fighting chance, and the third quarter just got away from us a little bit. And truthfully, I think we just got gassed in the 4th. I just think we were absolutely gassed, and we played extremely hard, but there just wasn't much left in the tank late. And we kept fighting, but it just wasn't meant to be.
What is the 6-game program recommend wins first regional win for this program in 90-something years just to be progress?
It's been great. Every guy that I stepped on the floor with was wonderful, and I loved being around him every single day, and I just wouldn't trade being with those guys every single day.
What do you hope the youngsters, the big group will be back and with experiences? What do you hope they'll like from this?
I hope they know that it can be done. I'm sure a lot of people, a lot of experts around the state did not think we had even a chance to win this game, and I think we gave them a pretty good fight.
first of all, congratulations on a great season. Talk about your team's effort. I know you talked a little bit about it, but just about your team's effort here tonight, getting after loose ball, very, very physical out there on both ends of the floor, and then maybe touch on a little bit how your young kids can maybe take away from this. Kind of what Gage talked about there, and how we can prepare them for trying to get back to this point next season.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, we told our guys coming in, man, we have to be able to win 50-50 balls. We have to be able to match their physicality because, you know, it's a different level, man, when you're playing at the state Final Four and you state runner-up the last few years and these guys are hungry for that state championship. So I was very pleased we didn't back down. I was very pleased we battled. We did get hurt on the boards. Fortunately, you know, we're rebounding with 6'1" and 6'2" and smaller for the most part. Julian's got some length there. But, you know, I cannot fault the effort one bit. And, you know, OG's just a really good basketball team. And, you know, they play the schedule that they do, and to have 24 wins, I think they are now, on the year is exceptional. And, you know, we went toe-to-toe with them. We just didn't make enough plays, especially in the offensive end. Because, you know, if you ask me that we keep White to 24, we just, you know, our offensive end was a little bit of a struggle today, and they had something to do with that. But when you hurts, and we've had games shoot the ball, we just didn't shoot it well tonight. But, you know, kudos to OG and best wishes to Ottawa-Glandorf going forward.
Gage, what do you hope to leave behind after you played your last game here? Obviously, going to take some time to process that, I understand, but what do you hope to leave behind to this young group with what you've laid out here for the last 4 years?
I hope they just know that we're ready to win, and anything can be done, and this is going to be.
Everybody good? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Somebody asked me Dayton how many beers they wanted to drink between here and Dayton.
So you heard from Coach Keller there along with his senior Gage Bodie. We will now await Coach McLaughlin and probably a couple senior members of the Titans to make their way into the media room. So we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be back. We'll have that. And then we will wrap things up here from Bowling Green State University. Keep it here for the Maumee Bay Turf Center postgame show.
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports services as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects, check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center, we build better.
win. Unbelievable atmosphere. You talking about this facility, just such a great place to play. It's a phenomenal venue to have a sellout crowd, and for these guys to come and follow up with a great performance. I think it's a testament to our guys. It's a testament to our seniors, to our communities, which just showing out on day to day. And hopefully we can show the state of Ohio, and that's what high school athletics is about. So we're just extremely thankful and blessed to be Titans.
Sometimes you gotta work your ass off to get it.
These guys, they just, the amount of work that they put in that nobody sees is a credit. These two guys right here are the heart and soul. They're the heart and soul of what we do. I think it's easy to show up on Friday, Saturday nights and watch them play and think so much of this is just natural. And they got some guys in the door, there's no doubt about that, but they're not in the gym Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 6 a.m. You're thinking that sweat and that grind that these guys put in, and it's carried over to other kids in the program.
So it's going to be a special feeling when we get down there this year. It's a new group of guys every year, but playing with these guys for however long, and it's just going to be special to be down there with them. And 4 years, it's pretty cool.
Not as freshman, just Jim.
The other night, Mark said they could play at work for heat pressure. And you guys played this whole season.
Well, I'm sure that's out there, and but we talked to our guys from the first day, and we don't have a lot of long-term goals and things like that. But we said from the beginning, it's not about the final destination; it's about the journey, and we're going to make this journey as memorable as possible. Win or lose tonight, there's no way I would say that this was a failure. These guys. This is what high school sports is. This is what, when I coach, I want guys like this, where they put everything on the line. And that's what I told them. Before the game, I said, I want one thing. I want maximum effort. Leave it all on there. Leave it all on the court, and these guys epitomize that.
You're at 5 at halftime. In the third quarter, you come out and start to extend it. What you kind of adjust at halftime?
No, just being us. We missed some shots. I think we were 2 of 12 from 3 in the first half. And we just talked about, we just got to stay the course, do what we do. Cade hit a big 3 there to kind of get that momentum shifted, and then I thought our pressure started to create a little bit of havoc for them.
Coach, what about the culture in your program has allowed you to maintain this level of success?
I think we have kids that buy into what we're trying to do. I think I have changed as a coach. I think I've really developed in more relationships, and these guys know that that I love them, and that they know that there's not a thing in the world I wouldn't do for them. And I think sometimes we focus so much on wins and losses. It's about developing. It's about forming relationships. So for me, just being able to coach these guys and be around these guys, and hopefully when they leave this program, they look back. It's an experience, that they're going to, share with other people and be extremely happy and proud of.
Caden, you're pretty much known as one of the top 3-point guys on his team, but you had a couple of big offensive rebounds and putbacks, I think, during that third quarter run. How did you change your game at all one more inside?
No, shots aren't always going to fall. When they do, it's great, but it's not always the case. And when they don't, you got to find other ways to help the team, and I think that's what I did. I found other ways to help the team out.
Coach, I know you struggled from the floor a little bit shooting the basketball, but 2 things I thought you guys did really, really well. Now you had 13 offensive rebounds. It's a lot of extra possessions against a really, really scrappy Margaretta team. Those are really key. And then I think you guys had 16 points off of turnovers as well. So you guys were able to make some of those turnovers count. Just talk about your effort for your team in that area, please.
I thought we asserted ourselves. You did ask about the second half. We talked about being able to kind of dominate in the paint. We had opportunities that I thought we missed. We were just a little bit more assertive. That's a team that is really good, but they're really young, and they have a lot of young guys out there, and they remind me a lot of these guys. A couple years ago, there's a lot of similarities between Margaretta and us, and their time is coming, and they're going to be a handful for a lot of years. But we just you know, we're not going to change what we do. We're going to come after and put pressure on. We're able to get some of those turnovers and turn into points, and we're a team of runs, and we got the runs, we got our crowd involved, and, you know, kind of took care of itself then.
You guys having been there before, I think made a big difference. You didn't panic. I mean, we just got to do what we do, and the game will eventually come to us.
Yeah, I mean, they got all the confidence in the world. You know, they don't lack that, and nor should they. You put the work in for a reason. You put the work in there to be in moments like this, and these guys showed what they're capable of.
Colin, Margaretta was a pretty scrappy defensive team. I thought you guys did a really nice job handling the basketball all night. You only had 5 turnovers tonight. Really controlled the pace. You guys have so many guys that can handle the ball. You know, how does it feel out there knowing that you can throw it to the next guy out there and they're going to do exactly what you're asking them to, take care of the basketball, get the offense into rhythm? What kind of confidence does that give you guys?
You know, it's a great feeling. It feels like your game is just, it expands a little bit more. You know, I feel like we play off each other really well, and like you said, we have 4 or 5 guys that can bring the ball up on the court at any given time. So that gives us a lot of freedom to, you know, run sets or get into actions offensively quicker than some teams and not have like a quote-unquote point guard. So, you know, it's really good, and you know, it's really free-flowing out there when you can have that many guys handling the ball.
Since you guys are familiar with Colin, since you guys are familiar going to state, kind of what do these next stages of preparation look like, knowing that you guys are already familiar kind of what it takes to get there?
You know, it's a good feeling that we're going back down there. You know, we've been down there, so you know, it's a nice feeling, and you know, we'll probably take a couple days to recover and then come back and, you know, look at our next opponent and hit it hard. And you know, we have experience down there, and we just can't wait for the opportunity.
Tyson, how much bigger does the floor get for Dayton and Colin when Grant Schrader hits the corner 3 or Grady steps up and hits that 15-foot jumper?
It's a team game. It's a team game, and I think that's the, you know, the evolution of this team early in the year. First 5-6 games, we waited for Cade and Colin to take over, and you know, the Grady Tomazas, the Grant Schraders, the Dave Weschricks, Ross, like that development of our team. Has, you know, the confidence level, and when they're making plays, it's harder for teams to, you know, they got to kind of pick and choose their poison, and you know, our guys are doing a good job, and you know, like I said, it's a total team effort, and it always will be here.
Kate, did you guys get a tough harvest prep team? Obviously, you're going to take a couple days off, rest up a little bit, but what do you expect out of this team? Not sure if you know a lot about them, but maybe what do you expect heading into Dayton out of this team you guys are going to see on Friday?
Yeah, I mean, obviously everyone, if you make it to Dayton, you're obviously pretty good. So, like we said, we're going to recover, get our bodies right, and then start looking at the film, do whatever we can, learn some personnel, and take it from there.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We got some people back in Ottawa waiting for us. My party.
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports surfaces as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects, check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center, we build better.
We return now with our most valuable player presented by Maumee Bay Turf Company, and we've got Colin White hanging out with me, and not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 trips to state for you. So I'm sure cutting out the nets here, it never gets old, but being your senior season with unfinished business, how nice does this one feel knowing that you're accomplishing the mission?
You know, it feels good to get back down to Dayton. You know, that's a goal you set out at the beginning of the year, you know, come to BG, and this place was rocking tonight. It was a really fun atmosphere, and, you know, we're getting back down to Dayton, and that's just a great feeling.
Yeah, what fan support here in the building tonight? Obviously, your girls were playing all the way down in Dayton. It seemed like the entire town all the way came back up here for this game. So if you can continue to compliment the fan base and what OG showed out for tonight, just tell me more.
You know, this community means everything to us. You know, it really drives us. You know, every day we think about the community and putting on a show for them. So to come out here with pretty much the whole community here, this place was a sellout. It was really special to have them here. You know, we have great fan support everywhere we go. You know, we'll travel to Kentucky and there'll be 500 fans there. So it's really cool, and you know, it's a great part of OG basketball.
And it seems like they really embraced this senior class, all 7 of you guys. So just how special has this group been in kind of exemplifying what it means to be an OG Titan?
You know, I think we've really embodied that. You know, it's we're Titans through and through, and you know, our fan base knows that. And so, you know, we're going to be gone next year. So I feel like we're just really enjoying the ride right now, and you know, having fun doing it. And you know, our fans really have a big part in that.
Obviously, you're a team guy, but individually here at this regional tournament, unbelievable numbers for you. You put on a show again here tonight. So not only moving on with your boys, but being like the #1 reason and the go-to guy that anytime the chips are down or where they need a bucket, you're that person. How nice is that to be able to elevate your game?
You know, it's really cool, and I think the guys around me really elevate my game. You know, the people on the court, you know, they really set me up for success, and we set each other up for success. So it's really cool to be out there with those guys and, you know, having fun at the same time.
I know you've had a lot of great dunks this season, but that one in the third quarter, you caught a body, you put somebody on a poster. Tell me a little bit more about that. What one's about?
You know, I just going up to the hoop strong and you know, jumping in the air. I feel like I could dunk it, and you know, unfortunately for him, he came up under me and tried to block it. So, but you know, it was fun. It was you know, kind of the crowd got into it after that, and we went on a little run. So, you know, it was really cool, and those dunks are always really fun for me. So.
Well, congratulations. Another big performance for you. You're heading back to Dayton. I know some unfinished business to take care of. Got a little goodie bag for you here, courtesy of the OH Report. We got a little tradition as well before we wrap things up. If you want to look in the camera, give as many shout-outs as you'd like.
You know, I want to give a shout-out to the OG community, obviously, and our girls' team today. They played great. And shout-out to my family, and shout-out to Mandy. Happy birthday.
Oh, how about that? Sneaking a little birthday wish at the end. Your Maumee Bay Turf Center MVP, Colin White.
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports services as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects, check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center, we build better.
For the final time here in the Stroh Center after an unbelievable weekend. Wrapping things up here, Margaretta, let's begin with them. Put up a good fight against Ottawa-Glandorf, and a team that got to a place that no squad in program history has before. Mark, what were your impressions of the Polar Bears and also what they got coming back?
Well, I was very impressed with the way the Polar Bears played against a really, really good Ottawa-Glandorf team. They put together a season to remember, made their first run to the regional finals, and they ran into a team that, simply put, is probably just the best in the state. Okay, so you know, with what they did, though, they gained valuable experience. Young ball club, a lot of good young players. This trip to the Elite Eight is going to pay dividends for them next year, and I look for Margaretta to do really, really good things again in 2024-25.
I would be honestly really surprised if they didn't get back to the stage again next year, and especially with the new division realignment, they'll probably be playing against some smaller teams a little bit more their size. But for Ottawa-Glandorf, they've been the #1 team in D3, I think, since the AP poll came out. I'm pretty confident they were right at the top the whole time. They didn't disappoint. Got so many veteran leaders. Obviously, number 22, he's at the point of the entire thing, but it would be hard to picture this team ever getting rattled and put in a situation that you feel like they can't overcome.
Well, the composure is so critical. No matter what Margaretta did defensively tonight, they had an answer. They knew where the ball was supposed to go. They knew how to attack the rotations. They are just so well coached and well versed that this group is just going to be very, very difficult to beat if they can get shots to go.
All right, we're going to see them when they head down to Dayton coming up next weekend. But for now in BG, I think it's time to sign out, Mark. We spent probably a little bit too much time here. The janitors, it looks like they're trying to clean up the last bit of popcorn. So we'll go ahead and say goodbye here from the Stroh Center. But, man, this was really a fun weekend.
Hey, 2 great basketball games, and congratulations to Shelby and to Ottawa-Glandorf moving on to Dayton. Well done, boys.
Well done. All right, and well done to my fantastic crew here in Bowling Green. Justin Wilson getting that shot that you just saw right there. Jory Hollenbeck was our top camera. Adam Thompson, our producer-director. Mark Bollinger, my color commentator. I am Brian Skowronski. Thanks for hanging out with us all evening here on the OH Report. Keep checking out our page for all of the state championship action for the girls, and then we will be back down in Dayton for the fellas next week. But for now, for tonight, we are out of here.